Okay, well, that's something. Well, that is something. Oh, that's dirty. That is dirty. Oh, and we're using a good old-fashioned fine winding tray. Right. That's the full. Yeah, buddy. Full project tray. So the idea is, boom, it all fits in there. Anyway, let's get going. It's like a rubber 19mm Tropic Sport. All right, well, that's kind of cool. All right, well, let's see if the rivets. I don't know anything about this movement. What's that saying? Secura SA. Okay. All right. Well, it's kind of got some life. It's thinking about it. It is thinking about it. Well, hello to the one person. If this volume is too loud, let me know. I have a new mic. She's trying. Okay. Let's go ahead and get her out of here. Ooh. I probably need to replace this. Don't think this will need a clean, but might as well. All right, lip up. I gotta remember. This goes up, this goes down. Cool. So now I should just be able to flip it out. Should just be able to. Look at that. Pretty. Crystal is not horrible. It's pretty decent. Let's get these hands off. Lovely. Where'd that go? There it is. I think it's about time for new plastic. It's getting kind of beat up. It's just a little Ziploc baggie I chopped up to give that protection, because my dial pullers are not that metal, and I don't want them to damage the dial, so that's what the plastic's for. It helps to protect that there dial. Let's grab the hands here. It is a nice clean dial. Ooh, is there any loom? I wonder if the loom is still good on here. There you go. Let's check. Oh yeah. So the hands have loom, but I don't know if you guys can see that gaze yet. Oh. How do I? What do I? Hey! Does this watch look familiar? Luminescence is still good. You probably should. How's my volume? Too loud? Oh, okay. I got a new design for the movement holders. I have made them taller, and I moved this higher so it'll grab better. So, and this is marbled PLA, or no, PET G, sorry. Marbled PET G. I don't think this is the right size. Let's go over to here. That's too big. There we go. This should be right. Hey, thank you, James. I appreciate that. Awesome. You're my hero. That'll buy a coffee. I gotta be honest, dude. This is a pretty dial. Like, there ain't a piece of scratch on there. Look at that. That is awesome. But let's get the dial off. So this one doesn't have the feet screws. It's all right here. Popped right off. So I want to grab it before it falls. Like that. Right there. Run for a short period, then stop. Well, I know exactly what that is. Mainspring tension, more than likely. Or a dirty train. But generally, it's mainspring. Low amplitude, low torque on the train of wheels. So it doesn't provide constant pressure. Is one of the biggest reasons, but there are many others. If you've got a weak mainspring and then also a dirty train, oil in the jewels, or anything like that, it'll create drag, wear, and tear. And since you've got such a pretty dial here, I'm going to grab it with these plastic. So I don't want to ruin that. And then right on my tray. Alright, let's put you there. I want to grab all this. This is a very pretty complication. Like, everything is just well laid out. It came right off. Right there. Okay. So this pinion is going to be held in place by a bunch of stuff. This is held in place by all this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off first, which should allow me to get to the pinion and take the rest off. So let's get to it. This rotor is messing with me. There we go. Come on, rotor. Maybe I should take the rotor off first. I don't think it matters. There we go. Boom. Like a glove. You know what I'm going to do? I think it'd be safest to do it movement side, take the tension down, break that down, and then come back. No, because I want to get that pinion off so all the training wheels will come off. So let's get the pinion off and then I'll flip it. Well, that screw is not coming undone. That is in there. Alright, I'm going to have to shape this screwdriver real quick. Hope you all don't mind. Because it's got a, I don't know if you guys can see, where's the camera at? It's got a chip in it. And that's going to really frustrate me and I don't want to slip more than I need to. This is a quick operation. Yeah, I'll replace the O-rings too. I bought a row O-ring gasket. You can't see this at all. Ah, there we go. So I got like 55 gaskets and O-rings. So whatever you're gonna need, I'm gonna be able to replace, thankfully. I was thinking ahead. What I need to eventually get is a pressure gauge or a bar gauge, which will allow me to test the water resistance of my surfaces. Make sure that they're water resistant up to like, however many bars, 1 bar, 10, 3 bars, 5 bars, whatever it is. A bar, I think, is 10 feet. Okay. All right, now that's nice and cleaned. Let's put this away. Let's try this again. And look at that. See what happens when you use an appropriately serviced screwdriver? It doesn't fight you. That's why we do that. Now, this is being held by this. So let's take this off and then all this should come undone. Yeah, the loom's functional. It responds, but it doesn't stay. Here, I can show you that. Here. Right here. And right here. So I have a handy dandy UV light that I use for my 3D printing side hustle. So you can see that, but let's one step further. So there's your loom. Yes, it looms, but it doesn't hold it. So I mean, I can absolutely reloom this for you if you want. You just tell me what color. Hello to everybody in the chat. I'm gonna break this down and get it ready for cleaning. I'm waiting on hydraulic fluid for my cleaning machine, so as soon as I get that and swap out the fluid, I'll be able to resume cleaning. So probably honestly be in the cleaning machine tomorrow, and then I will reassemble it tomorrow. So maybe I'll do another live tomorrow if I have time. It's Aaron's day tomorrow. There we go. Stop moving. Stop moving. What I need to do is get some music playing. That would be awesome. Ooh, see? There's a trap for you. There is a spring under there. As soon as I take this up, that damn thing is going to pop. Watch. So let's try to manipulate that spring first to avoid that from happening if I can. And I cannot, so I'll be careful. Hello from the UK. Well, hello from San Diego, California. Welcome. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, do please speak up. I like to hear what y'all got to say. Yeah, see, there goes that spring. Whew. Here's all the inner workings. And there's that spring I saw, so I'm going to grab it right now. Ooh, that's pretty cool. James, you got a well-designed watch here. There's another spring. Oh, it's just sitting there. Okay, well, that's going to be a problem. Thank you. So this goes like that. Oh, you were just sitting there too? You have to be right there. That's what you're for. This is the date complication for sure. And that's probably the hour or the day complication right there. Ooh, pretty and clean, relatively clean. Honestly, man, this doesn't need much of a service. It's clean. It's, you know, still together. I'll throw it under the microscope to see how the jewels are, if they're dirty or not, but overall, this all looks good. Like, that jewel is nice and bright. Well, let's flip it over and break down the other side. That was bad. Right, so this is why I like these movement holders, because they're pretty dang helpful. This is a marble PET G, which I kind of like. Makes whatever it is marbled. Okay, so I'm going to have to take this off. before I can break it down as far as the there's a nice spring there. So with the rotor still on and this plate on, I can't take down the mainspring. So it still has tension right now. I bet if I were to kick that over, it would run for a couple of seconds. Yeah, so we're still under tension. So let's go ahead and, well, first things first, I'm going to take this balance off just to get it off and be safe. There we go. Now with the balance off, it still being under tension shouldn't be a problem because the pallet fork is still there, which is going to stop the escape wheel and the train of wheels from flinging everything every which way. So, not too concerned with that. Why is not... So this doesn't have a little recess to separate it. So we had to do it that way, which is not ideal, but controlled pressure is fine, balance is fine. Perfect. Perfect. Now we can tell if it's still under pressure by bouncing the, yeah, see the pallet fork still has pressure. So let's go ahead and get the rotor off now. So it's going to be this screw, which will allow this brass piece to be removed. So there we go. Now we should, a little bit of upward pressure there. Cool beans. Come on. All right, well, I'll leave this on. And I'll clean it separately. Here's a spring here. So I'm not too worried about the spring because it's under this screw. So I can leave that for right now because all of this is getting cleaned. But it looks like 1, 2, and then this. But this has another rotor underneath of it. So I want to be careful because this is a part of the, well, you guys can't see, sorry. So this screw and this screw are definitely going to be part of this bridge. This screw also is, but this screw has another wheel underneath of it that it's holding down. So I have to pay attention as I take it off because all this is going to rotate. And this jewel is for this rotor. It looks like this winds whichever way it goes. So if it goes this way, it'll wind it. And if it goes this way, it'll wind it. You can tell because it has 2 wheels and then a third, this little wheel system right here. I don't know if you guys can see that tiny, there's usually like 2 tiny little wheels in here that'll allow that, or 2 bigger ones. But we'll find out. Let's do this. Thumbs up, Leroy Jenkins. There we go. Just trying to get away. There goes my screwdriver. Okay. So I want... This is like a weird click spring. That's cool. So I want to be careful with this one. And that's a bigger screw, so I'm going to upgrade this. Oh, that feels weird. Hmm. I bet that screw needs to come out. Damn it. I'm being very careful because that spring is still under tension. And I don't want it to go airborne. Aha! So that's what it was. So this was being held down by the click, whatever spring it was, whatever spring that was in that wheel. That's why it felt weird. Okay, well, let's check the underside. Pretty, pretty, pretty. We're going to take this one off. Okay. So the first wheel looks good. And then this will also come off right here. It's a good thing I'm recording this. This needs to be cleaned. Some dried oil. So there is some dried oil right here. We will get that in the machine. All right, so can this come up? So here, yep, there were two wheels. Sorry. There was this one and the smaller one. Look at all that. You see all that? You probably don't, but that's not brass. This right here is oil. Here, I got a better way of showing you. Take one of these. And then you see on the tip a small bit of discoloration. Probably not because I don't have a great camera. But yeah, you can already see. So it's, I can't tell if it's wore down to the brass or if it's just that way, but there's definitely a discoloration there where the wheel was. Alright, this wheel goes there. And these are some precisions. Alright, still have tension? We still have tension. So let's go ahead and wind this down. So this click is underneath. You can see it right there. So I have to be careful with that. So I still have the keyless works installed on the other side. So I'm going to grab the... Now there's two ways you could do it. You could do it the risky, dangerous way, or you could do it the safe, smart way. I've done both, obviously. The risky, dangerous way that I would not recommend. Disclaimer, do not do. Hold this, and then do the click, and it will slowly, you can control it through the arbor screw. But if this slips, A, you're going to scratch the hell out of this. B, it's just going to wind down and bad juju, right? Potentially damage things. The safer, smarter way is just to put the stem back in. Like so. And just use it as it's designed, right? So now, grab this little click here. Might need to change screwdrivers. There we go. Pull it away, and now I can control it. See how much easier that is? Nice, slow, steady, controlled letdown. These little delicate parts do not like speed. And this way, if the tweezers slip, it's just going to go back. It's going to lock in place. And it's not going to just fly off the handle. So this is absolutely the safest, best way to let down mainspring tension. Just leave the keyless works in, put the stem back in, and then slowly let it down. There we go. About done. Boom, done. Yep. See? Now I can test it by hitting the pallet fork and it shouldn't jump. There's no real jump in there. And click is entirely out of the way and I'm not even touching the stem, it's not moving. So there is no tension on that mainspring. Remove the stem because we don't need it in right now. Let's go ahead and get these off. So that is today's tutorial. Now, chances are one of these are counter screwed. Probably this one, which will be righty-tighty. No, righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. Let's find it. No. Okay, that one's already... I had already loosened that one. So that wasn't counter screwed. So this watch gonna make me a liar. Ooh, this has got a washer underneath. That's cool. Does this come off? Nope. Okay, so maybe that one's counter. I said chances are. I didn't say 100%. Hmm. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. So neither one of them were counter. And there's the click. Okay, ooh, got a little bit of dirt. Yeah, see that dirt? Need to get that cleaned. So now, all of this above here was just the winding, self-winding, automatic. Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty. Train of wheels, mainspring arbor, barrel I should say. Keyless works right here. This is your pallet fork bridge. So let's go ahead and get that off right now. There we go. And now that there's no tension on the mainspring, it shouldn't launch anything anywhere when I remove this here bridge. Nothing moved. Yay, success. Pin pallet, great. So now everything should free spin, which it does. Doesn't spin very good, so I'm thinking this is dirty. I could probably get the microscope and double check it. All right, I've been rambling for a while. Anybody have any questions? Or suggestions? Things I could do better? Or you just like the soothing sound of my voice? Was that claptrap on Borderlands? Follow the sound of my voice. I think it was like Borderlands 2. Alright, this is always risky because when I take this bridge off, if I didn't get everything off, right, then something's going to pop on me. So let's pray. There goes the escape wheel. Am I missing a screw? No. So, boom, there we go. So that's how the train of wheels goes. Oh, that's cool. A little bit of dirt. Not too bad. So, just so I know how it goes back together, that's how it goes. So, yep. Get this for posterity purposes. Which way? Oh, it's backwards. Cool. We got this wheel. Okay, cool. Oh, changing screwdrivers or tweezers. Well, thank you for the soothing voice comment. I try, I work on it. Try not to get too excited or anxious. There we go. Now the arbor should just come right out. Ooh. This is a double wheel, or a double ratchet, so it's got one on the bottom and one on the top. So I will take a picture of this before I disassemble it and replace. So the best way to do mainspring replacement is to measure the inner diameter of the barrel with the mainspring out. So you're going to measure from wall to wall, inner diameter. You're going to measure the depth, so how deep is the mainspring barrel. And then you should measure the mainspring itself if you've got it. Again, height, thickness, and length. With that measurement, those measurements, you should be able to find a suitable replacement. Without those measurements, you're guessing, and it's never a good thing to guess with watches. You can get close, but your amplitude will be wrong. It'll act weird, and you could be underpowered or overpowered. I don't recommend it. Use the right materials for the right watch, if that makes sense. All right, last thing is keyless works. So this is going to hold your, oh God, bless it. I know what that's called, and I will think of it in a minute. Yep, it's spacing on me, but I will get it. Oh, that's on there. Okay, there we go. Yoke? Is it a yoke? No, it's not. Is it a yoke? Ugh, yeah. I'll remember later. Now there's generally a spring. There it is. So that spring is usually pretty high tension. So I always want to be careful and hold a part of it when I manipulate another part of it. Because again, they will launch. That's the wrong pair of tweezers. Let's use these. Yep, see? Aha! Almost lost it. Alright, so one thing to note, this goes under. So this is when you pull the stem out. This engages the clutch on the keyless works. So it either spins it here, or you pull it back, normal, and it'll spin everything else. So that spring has to be under tension. But if I were to try to put this on normal without tucking it under here, it wouldn't work. So that's just one thing that I will mentally note of how to reassemble this. And I'm having a hell of a time grabbing this. There we go. And then this is what the button for the stem. So it should just come right out. There it is. And that will get some lubrication. This wheel doesn't come off. So this wheel is stuck in there. There's a screw here and a screw here. Wait a minute. Why are there two screws here? I bet this bridge right here will come off, which will allow that to come off. The question is, do I want to break it down that much? Of course I do, because I want every part cleaned. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take these last two screws off. There we go. There's that one. There's that one. Now this hopefully won't fall. And I should just be able to work it out. Okay. That was a lot of working. It did not pop. Am I missing a screw? Nope. Nope. Well, there's no screw missing. It's just really tensioned in there. Let's see about this. There we go. I just had to get a little bit of leverage. So when these things are milled, right, they're so precision milled that when they are in there, they're in there. And you got to come at it at the right angle, which is generally straight up. There we go. Well, three milled rods, 3 milled holes. So that will get cleaned with everything else. And then, hey, this last screw, the intermediary. That's a lot of stuff. This is a big complication. What do we got here? We have BF. Oh, is this, oh, I know what this is. BF. Oh, Bobner something or other. I did a watch. It's 3:30 a.m. Don't be too soothing. And now we will have soothing jazz talk. No. God, what is BF? I've done a watch with BF. Anyway, BF 157 and then 31.7 is probably the size of it. So all right, we are ready for washing. Has multiple jewels on the main body. So what we're going to do now is put the balance back on for cleaning and safety. So I always put the balance back on the body. So if the mainspring goes here, the balance is going to go here. Yep, because this is where the pallet fork kicks back and forth. Pallet fork's going to be there. Escape wheel is going to be here. So the balance will go right there. Let's see if I am correct. It's got 2 holes, so that's not right. That's right. Boom. My puppy says hello. Here's movement outside, wants to go play. There we go. Alright, now we need to get you lined up just right. That looks about right. So a good way to test is to go ahead and, oh, look at that, nice and smooth. Perfect. Let's go ahead and screw it on down. That is the wrong screw. That one's on me. Okay, so when that happens, that screws in there. So what I do is get a piece of Radico and touch it. There we go. Gets that screw right out of there. Sage. Shush. I know. Okay. There we go. Let's screw her down. And this is the preferred way to clean balances and hairsprings. So make sure it's on there. So the reason I don't tighten it down all the way and spin it one more time, like so, is because there's two pivots on this balance, one on the bottom and one on the top. If they're not aligned with the jewel on the top and the jewel on the bottom, and you tighten it down, you have potential of snapping the pivot. So I wanted to make sure that it was on there, and boom, we are good. Looks pretty good. Now, this will go through the cleaning machine. Questions, comments, concerns? Alright, should I crack the mainspring now or crack it later? What do y'all think? You want to see this mainspring open up on me? Looks like it should open from this side. Let's see if it rotates. It does rotate. Sometimes they'll just pull apart. This will need to be popped. All right, let's just go ahead and pop it. Be careful. Let me get my anvil. There we go. Oh, I want to take a picture of this. All right. Silver side. And the reason I take a picture is to make sure that I reassemble it correctly. Normally I do tweezers here to make sure that I control it. Oh, that's not the way to pop it. This is a unique one. How? Oh, I bet. Let's see if I'm right. Yep, there we go. Y'all hear that? Pop! That's what I wanted to hear. There it is. Oh, microphone falling. So I want to take a picture of the orientation of the mainspring so I put it back in correctly as well. Where is my... Boop. There we go. Do one more just to make sure I got it. There we go. The mainspring actually looks pretty clean. Now, easy way of getting the mainspring arbor out is to rotate it the opposite direction of the spring with some slight pressure up. Ooh! Haha! It grabbed. You all see that it tried to jump out on me? Oh, this is a stainless steel one. So what I'm going to do is do that, allow it to come out a little bit, and then walk it out. Like so. And now with the mainspring out, I'll be able to measure and hopefully have a replacement on hand or purchase one. They're not expensive. I try to do all the mainspring. Ooh, that's a split mainspring too. Automatics usually have that. And then, so ooh, that is a metal shaving. Y'all see that? That's not good. Okay, well, that's why we're going to clean it. But on Yeah, so on the inside of this, you'll see notches. Those are like, think of it like brakes. So we'll catch, right, on each side. So with the with the automatic works, I will use a little bit of braking grease. Ooh, a little bit of braking. So I was reading chat. A little bit of braking grease, um, so that it doesn't create those shavings. That's disconcerting. I'm a tad out of frame. Now I am. Let's see, pre-wound. I serviced a watch yesterday. All was fine, so I left it to run overnight. Checked it this morning to discover the top pivot on the escape wheel had sheared off and was sat in the well of the jewel. Ooh, that's rough, my friend. Um, how strong was your mainspring to do that? What kind of watch was it? Are you able to do a pivot replacement? Do you have a staking kit? That's a lot of questions. I did not mean to bombard you. I apologize. That's crazy. All right. Well, I think. I'll show you all. I talked about the measuring. So, get yourself a nice digital caliper. We're zeroed out. A Seiko, yeah. Seikos are fun. All right, we're going to drop the barrel. Measure the inner diameter. And you don't want to like make it so tight that it doesn't fall off. No staking set. All right, well, my friend, you're gonna have to buy a new balance. Um, that's pretty much the only way you could get away with doing. Um, no, yeah, you're gonna need a new balance. You might need a new complete balance because the jewel might be ruined as well if it rubbed through it. So you would need a complete balance, which means the balance cock, the balance itself, and the hairspring. Just to be safe, I would do that. If you had a staking set, you could just swap out the balance and the jewel and be safe. Um, but yeah, that's rough. I'm sorry. Okay, so mainspring barrel. You're gonna want a nice. Now you don't want like towards the edge here. You want in the center. So in the center, right there. Oh, Shiza. Butterfingers today. Trying to make sure I'm in frame. There. So we're in the center. Nice even pressure, and it's 11.28. I know it's upside down, so it looks like it's 8211, but it was the escape wheel. Oh, oh, and then you're good. Oh, I didn't read that. I saw balance. I don't know why I thought that. Escape wheel. Hey, whoa. So if it's the escape wheel, you've got the jewel on the bridge. Is it good or did it go oblong? Because usually, if the pivot is off center of the jewel, it can make it have weird wear marks. Checked this morning and discovered the top pivot on the escape wheel had sheared off and was sat in the well of the jewel. Jeez. Yeah. I would check that jewel under a microscope. And then just the new escape wheel. Easy fix. Alright, so 1128. That there. And then you're going to want to do... Oop, this is how I check the depth. So go like that. You guys can't see the numbers, but I can. But you're going to push this down until it's nice and flush. And it is 1.65 millimeters. So this is probably going to be a 1.6 height mainspring. And yeah, I think I have 1.6. Yeah, pre-wound. Check the balance on the bridge, the escape wheel bridge. Oh, you already looked it up, James? I was close. Oh no, yeah, that's the measurements I had. So I have a gauge here, a nice handy dandy gauge. Since the mainspring's out, right? Now this is not an everything gauge. Some mainsprings are not listed here. But what I should be able to do is size that up. So that's a 12, right? Which is what I said, 11.28, so pretty close. Thanks, James. So pretty close, right? And then we're going to take the mainspring and we're going to put it in the teeth to see how, yeah, so this looks like one millimeter. But what you don't notice, or what you should notice, is this is very rudimentary. Like this will get you in the ballpark, right? This will absolutely get you in the ballpark. But I'm not going to trust it entirely. And this is, again, rudimentary. I would use this more for pocket watches more than I would a wristwatch. It's awesome, and I got it from, I think, a garage sale, honestly. It's been heavily used by somebody. Um, but yeah, that's my mainspring gauge. What I'm going to do to make sure I get the right one is I'm going to take the mainspring. You're going to get 3 measurements: the length of the mainspring, the width of the mainspring, and the height of the mainspring. So right here, get you in frame. So just a height. Again, you're not cranking down because you'll get a false reading. So 1.23. And I like to do it a few times just to make sure it's right. 1.22, 1.22. If you go way out to the tip, it'll be a little bit off depending on your caliper. So I try to do it in the middle. 1.23. So right around 1.2. That's what would be expected. And then this guy, we're going to go the thickness, which is the strength. So 0.1. So 0.10. Yep, 0.10. 0.10. So I need a mainspring that is 1.2, 1.23 if I have it, 0.10, and measuring this, it's probably going to be like 300 millimeters, 280. All right, y'all, humor me for a second. I will be right back. I'm going to see if I have that mainspring. So 1.23. Talks amongst yourselves. All right, here we go. 1.2, 1.2, 0.9, 1.2.9, 1.2.11. That's actually probably my best bet. Let me grab that one. So here we go. 1.2, 0.11, and then the length is 21 or 8.5 inches. This will probably be good, but here's the only question, right? Is this going to be a split end for an automatic, right? Chances are no, it usually would say. So this is a nice tester, but it's not going to be the one that I would put in there because I don't think this is going to be designed. But I wanted to show you, like, that's how you're going to figure out your mainspring. First time watching someone rebuild my... Well, to be fair, James, I just broke it down. I haven't rebuilt it yet. That will be probably later. Probably tomorrow, honestly. So let's see if I have an automatic. 1.2.7, 0.9, 0.8, 0.8. That's no. Okay, so I will actually order just to be safe. Let's see if I can find an automatic one. Oh wait, here we go. Oh, this might work. So let's see if that one is right. That's a little long though. So this is what was in there, Onyx Steel. This brand, more than likely, the steel ones. So the fun thing about, move this microphone and drop stuff all over. The fun stuff about mainsprings is you need to oil them as well, except for white steel. You don't need to oil those. Oh, here we go. Because they will not need oiling. BF. New temp. Alright, we're going to try these three. Alright, so what I have here, I have over 100 mainsprings. I bought a whole bunch. So this actually says for ETA 720. And I'm going to verify with one of my books the BF, what did I say the model number was? BF 158. I think that's a European one. And I'm going to look and see if ETA 720 or ETA 848 is a suitable replacement, or a Beluva 9AF, or an Eterna 675. If the BF 15, whatever I said because I keep forgetting it, works, then those mainsprings will be suitable. So I will check this book that I have here. This book is, all right, yes. And with this book, I can open it up. Hey, I'm here to help you guys. I'm learning with you. And find, I'll get it. So Gruen, for an example here, Gruen, right? If I had a Gruen 280, it would tell me the switch basic serial numbers, ling size, staff series, stem series, Denison weight for the mainspring, everything, right? So I'm going to look for the BF, God bless it, BF 151? 158, no. Oh, my eyes are going. $158. I think it's a 158. Let me get my loop. Hold on. I think it's a 158. Hold on. 158, 31.7. BF 158, 31.7. Alright, so let me find that. It's going to be upside down for you guys. Eterna, ETA, Crouton, Derby, Crouton, Corbett, Belova, Boulevard, Breitling, Broadway, Baumgartner, BFG. That's it. That's BF. See? Baumgartner. Alright, so I need Baumgartner 158. James, is that you messaging me? No. Okay. So I need BF 158. Ah. It's not in here. Not in this book. So, but here, look. So, I'm getting excited. All right. How am I going to show this? On the main spring, the main plate, right? How do I know that this main plate is this Baumgartner, the BFG and the BF? Because on here, on the plates under the balance, is this symbol right here, BF. And then it has 158, 31.7. So I should just be able to go down, find 158.37, and see it, but it's not in this book. So I will check. Yeah, I don't see it. 830, 831, and then check this one too. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna check another book. But we're getting somewhere. We know it's a Baumgartner. I have 2 more books. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so quick HR Fit. So this is this book here. Quick fit. So let's go to Baumgartner. Caliber listings. Belova, Breitling, Belova, Baumgartner. Nope. Ben Roos. Building, Blanchpan. Sorry, I know this is stupid boring. Baumgartner continued. Here we go. Baumgartner. So now I need to find 158. Boom! Haha! 158. Where? Get his camera. There it is. 158. So 12 1/2 is the Ling size. And then over here it's going to say stem, the stem number, the balance staff, all that. So now I need to find out where I can go to mainspring size. It's not listed. It's literally not listed. So 158 blank. No mainspring size. MS 3595R. What is that, James? I'm gonna look at one more book while you. All right, Hartman, Gotham's, Avalon, Belova. All of the Belovas. Broadway. Baumgartner. And it's only got 3. It has literally 3 Baumgartners. Alright, well. Go figure. None of them are what I want. Alright, well these books didn't help me this time. This time. Every other time they helped me. It just means I need more books. Well, anyway, I've rambled on enough. I will do some research offline and check and find out which one of these 4, because I think it's going to be one of these 4. They're going to be good for me. On that note, I think I'm going to call it a night. Greatly appreciate you guys hanging out. We did like an hour, I think, maybe longer. Hour and 9 minutes. So, much appreciated. Oh. Mainspring 120, 112. ChatGPT is good for the win. What I'm going to do, though, just to make sure, James, is I'm going to get on a website that I go to that lists all the parts, and I wish there was a way I could share my screen. I'll pull it up real quick and show you. Here we go. So it lists every single part number of the watch, and allows me to search it. So here we go. Is this it? No, that's watch materials. Is it? Oh, Emmy Watch. There it is. emmywatch.com. And if I put in BF158, I should just do Baumgartner. I spell Baumgartner, B-A-U. Yeah, that's going to be annoying. Anyway, that's what I was going to do. I will do some research and figure it out. So before I go, I want to just do a quick pitch. That is my new website where I sell watches that A, I have restored, or B, I am selling for an estate. If you guys want to take a look, please do. You don't feel any obligation to purchase. I also have merch now. Right, pretty awesome. And this is my favorite style. Also a bottle opener. And then I got my coffee mugs. If you guys want to sign up and be a member, you'll get one of those lovely gifts. Either a coffee mug or a bottle opener. And I got some pens, stickers, Here are the pens. I got a thing with wood. Leave me alone. I like wood. So, yep, sponsorship pitch done. I appreciate you guys hanging out. And yeah, thanks for joining me on this teardown. Hopefully I'll have this watch cleaned and reassembled tomorrow. Way I can start regulating with the time grapher. All right. Uh, yes, James, you have bought a lot of watches, and I appreciate you greatly. Um, yeah, I'm gonna keep making everybody as happy as I can. So, y'all have a good night. Enjoy your Thursday. Go out and have fun tomorrow, but be safe. Don't add to the population. Don't take away from the population, and don't end up incarcerated. Have a good one, guys.